That's close enough.
New punch.
Think you can get away? Incinerate! Time for your... Brace yourself. Speed of light. Shine down. Let's play. Boom boom. I'm getting sick of it. Incoming. Hey! Incinerate! Motion to compel. Illusion shattered. Don't blink. Here we go.
New punch.
Time for takeoff. Nowhere to hide. Incinerate! Brace yourself. Shine down. I'm incoming. Hey! Here we go. Boom boom. Speed of light.
Where do you think I'll be back.
Yahoo!
Suffocate.
Think you can get away? There is no escape. Cut to the chase. Inadmissible evidence. Incoming. Brace yourself.
Let's end this now.
Don't blink. Yahoo! Motion to compel. Brace yourself. Let's play.
Your sacrifice is ready.
Time for takeoff. Yahoo! How rude. Wrap up a flame. Nowhere to hide. Torn to oblivion.
You want it?
Shine down. Here we go! Incinerate! There is no escape! Hey! Brace yourself!
Let the show begin.
What a nuisance! Punishment!
Verdict is...
Embrace the ice! Yeah! You can't run! Yeah! Judgment! Shiver!
Time for... retribution!
You can't run!
Let's dance. Hi.
Lights out.
Come on, we can do it.
Take flight!
Ha! Ha! Verdict is...
Yeah!
Hi.
You can't run! Ha! Judgment! Ha! Ha! Let's play! Boom! Think you can get away? Inadmissible evidence! Shine down! Inazuma shines eternal! Illusion shattered! Here we go! Time for takeoff! Incoming! To the chase! There is no escape! Don't blink! Yahoo! Here we go! Yeah! Think you can get away? Illusion shattered! Incinerate! Now you shall perish! Shine down! Insolent! Whirling snap!
Let the show begin.
You can't run! Shiver!
Ha! Ha!
Yeah! Sakura swirl! Yeah!
Let's dance.
Burn!
You can't run! Yeah! Punishment! My apologies!
Ha!
Yeah!
The end!
You can't run! So rude! What a nuisance. Lights out. Take flight.
Once again.
You can't run. Kamisato art. Sumeru.
Verdict is
Yeah! Punishment! Judgment!
Let the show be.
Yeah! My apologies! Yeah! Judgment! Yeah!
ha!
Whirling snow! Yeah! Shiver! My apologies!
Ha! Time for retribution!
I'll protect us.
Judgment! Ha! You can't run! Ha! Take flight! Sakura swirl! Judgment! Lights out!
Ha!
Whirling snow!
Let's dance.
Yeah! Let's play! Incoming! Illusion shattered! Time for takeoff! Motion to compel! Brace yourself! Time for your arraignment!
Let's get down to business.
Here we go! Think you can get away? Boom boom! With sword comes shadow! Hey!
To the fairy.
There is no escape! Torn to oblivion! Under full sight. Brace yourself! Time for takeoff! Speed of light! Motion to compel! Breath of the flame! Hey! With sword comes shadow! Incinerate! Let's play! Don't blink! Hey! Boom boom! Speed of light! Brace yourself! Shine down! Inazuma shines eternal! Incoming! Nowhere to hide! Think you can get away? Let's play!
My lucky day.
There is no escape! Time for takeoff! Invisible evidence! Incinerate! Cut to the chase! Torn to oblivion! Brace yourself! Let me sleep a while. Nowhere to hide.
Cut down. Burn!
You can't run! Shiver! Take flight! Judgment! Whirling snow! Kamisato art! Sumeru! Judgment! Take flight! Punishment!
Let the show begin.
You can't run! My apologies!
Furnictors?
What a nuisance! Shiver! Whirling snow! Sakura swirl! Take flight! You can't run! Whirling snow! Judgment! Punishment! Work hard and live each day. The fullest. No escape! You can't run!
You win this battle.
This will slow things down.
Illusion shattered! Yeah! Shiver! Ah! You can't run!
Think you can get away? Brace yourself!
There is no escape!
Going somewhere? Good work!
Inazuma shines eternal!
Finally,
Judgment!
my blade!
Time for takeoff. Here we go! Breath of the flame! Yeah! Punishment!
You win this battle.
You're trembling. Is it the cold or just cowardice?
Boom!
You can't run!
Brace yourself!
Now you shall perish! Into the frozen illusion shattered! Detestable!
Here we go! Incinerate! Lights out!
The Tsaritsa's benevolence has no place for transgressors!
Arraignment! Judgment! Yahoo! Set motion to compel! Boom boom! Think you can get away?
Shine down, Pretty! Inazuma shines eternal! There is no escape! Erase all threats!
Time for takeoff! Motion to compel!
You can't run! Not every wound will heal!
Here we go! Boom boom! Inadmissible judgment! Punishment!
Shine down! Torn to oblivion!
Brace yourself! Think you can get away? Incinerate! Yeah! Here we go!
You can't run!
Boom boom!
Illusion shattered! Embrace your searing reckoning! Not if I never asked for redemption. Never.
There, we'd like to ask you a quick question. Do you know if anyone around here has been looking for him? For Kaidahara Kazuha, we mean.
Aha! So this is the renowned Mr. Kaidehara. I've heard a lot about you. It is an honor to finally meet you today.
You are too kind. We are currently investigating an assault and would appreciate any help you can offer.
Oh? You were targeted in an assault? Let me think. I can't seem to recall anything of immediate interest. Mr. Kaidehara is currently the talk of the town, so there are always a lot of people looking for him. To be honest with you, our detective agency has recently been receiving many inquiries from people wishing to obtain Mr. Kaidehara's personal information. Some of them were offering us millions of mora just to gather the information they want. If these were more legitimate commissions, Sango would have snapped them up in an instant.
Millions? Of mora? Whoa! Oh, wait. Even at that price, you probably still shouldn't.
Please, accept my thanks for looking out for my privacy.
Of course. No matter what, we only take on legitimate cases. We don't make our money by revealing details of other people's day-to-day life just for the sake of it. Sorry, I got a little off topic. What I'm really trying to say is, it doesn't surprise me that a complete stranger is looking for Mr. Kaidehara. But I wouldn't know where to begin if we want to connect this with an assault.
Then let's put that connection aside for now. Have there been any other attacks or similar incidents recently that stand out as particularly unusual? The Tenryou Commission had very few leads. I thought you might have some information from different sources.
It's true that the commissioners aren't clued up about every little thing that goes on out in the streets. But typically, it's only the most trivial events that manage to escape their attention. If anyone had been out there attacking people, that would be assault, in which case the Tenryou Commission would absolutely get involved.
That does make sense. Uh-oh. Looks like the trail's already run cold.
I still find it difficult to believe that whoever attacked you hasn't been causing any trouble elsewhere. Few people possess your prowess in battle. So unless you were the first person he targeted, someone is certain to have been hurt by now. I am well aware of your talents. There is no need to be humble around me. In fact, I'm quite relieved that you were the one he targeted. It would cause me great grief to see someone become critically injured or lose their life because of me. For the poor victim, this would be a completely senseless crime.
Don't worry, we'll find him.
It seems you are every bit the selfless hero they make you out to be, Mr. Kaidehara. Surely this same concern for your fellow man is what drove you to fearlessly raise your blade against the almighty Shogun.
You flatter me. Truth be told, I don't know quite what came over me in that moment.
You are much too humble. Don't worry, I completely understand your concerns. I will try my best to gather whatever leads I can for you. Oh, actually, there was one strange incident over the last few days. It doesn't involve an attack, though. Let me tell you about it just in case.
Sure. During times like this, the more information we have, the better.
All right, then. Recently, 2 people went missing from the city at around the same time. One of them is a pretty well-known collector, surnamed Nagato. The other, Amenoma Yuya, is a samurai from the Amenoma clan.
Amenoma. Now there's a familiar name.
Right. Yuya is the nephew of Amenoma Togo, the owner of Amenoma Smithy. 2 grown men going missing at the same time. Their cases are likely connected, but I don't know much in the way of details. I recalled this because Amenoma Yuya is also an accomplished martial artist who is skilled with the blade. Perhaps he is the one you are looking for.
Understood, though it seems highly unlikely to me. I neither know this man, nor do I have any idea why he may wish to attack me.
Sure, can't hurt. We never know what we might find out along the way.
Thank you, Ryuji. We'll start by making some inquiries at the Amenoma Smithy.
Sounds good. All the best with your investigation. I'll get moving shortly myself.
Ah, if it isn't Gandharva Kazuha. What brings you here today?
Huh? You two know each other?
Yes, the Gandharva and Amenoma clans were both members of the Raiden Gokaden. Historically, there have always been deep links between the two clans. After I returned to Inazuma, I visited Mr. Amenoma to pay my respects. Let me quickly explain. The Raiden Gokaden was the collective term for the 5 most acclaimed bladesmithing arts in Inazuma. The techniques of blade making were personally bequeathed to the Raiden Gokaden by the almighty shogun, and over time, further honed and enhanced by the most talented craftsmen. Unfortunately, a series of events led to the gradual decline of many clans in the bladesmithing trade. Today, only the Amenoma clan has kept its art alive.
So sad.
It is a great pity indeed. In the old days, we each had our specialties, and just as iron sharpens iron, so too did we learn much from each other. As an example, the Amenoma art strives to emulate the abiding patience and determination of water as it turns stone to sand. There is nothing mystical to our work. There is only practice, day in and day out, until both body and mind have memorized the craft, turning each motion of every technique into an intrinsic part of the bladesmith's life. As for the art of the Gandharva clan, I believe it's called the Isshin art.
That's right. Isshin art strives for complete harmony between blade and mind from the moment that forging begins. For only a blade thus forged can capture and convey its maker's thoughts and feelings, and eventually become an extension of its wielder's will.
Indeed. Most samurai choose their blades, but an Isshin blade chooses its owner. You are, without a doubt, the most worthy wielder of an Isshin blade. It gladdens my heart to see that although the Gandharva clan has fallen on hard times, its ideals and virtues are alive and well.
You overestimate me. My actions are guided by my own personal sentiments, not by any noble aspirations on behalf of my clan. But let's get back on topic. The purpose of our visit today is to gather some information on your missing nephew. We hope to assist with the investigation. It may turn out that this case is connected to another we are pursuing.
Ah, yes. My nephew. I reported the case to the Tenryou Commission, but I haven't heard anything back so far. He didn't say a word before he left, which is very unlike him. I'm still completely at a loss on what to make of it, but I've done what I can so far. Worrying is futile. All I can do now is wait for the news from the Tenryou Commission.
We heard that there was a collector involved in the disappearance too. Know anything about that?
Yes. On the morning that Yuya went missing, he gave me a very cryptic look and said that he was going to give me a great gift. I believe he went to collect the item from Mr. Nagato after that. The next thing I heard was that a fire had broken out at the warehouse, and neither of them came back. Yes, strange, isn't it? I wonder what could have caused it. Unfortunately, there was very little evidence left behind, so nobody knows what really happened.
Do you have any thoughts on what Yuya may have wanted to give you?
If I had to guess, it must have been some kind of rare weapon. Otherwise, there would have been no reason for him to get my hopes up. He's never been particularly interested in blade forging, but has always had a fondness for blade testing, and can sense even the most minute differences in blade quality. He is extraordinarily talented in martial arts, particularly when it comes to the art of the sword.
Truth be told, we have some information that you may find to be objectionable. The person we are looking for He attacked this friend of mine. Based on the evidence we have gathered so far, only Yuya seems to match the suspect's profile.
What? No. Absolutely impossible. Yuya is not that kind of person. He is humble and kind. Even his training is done with the goal of calming his mind. He has never gotten into a fight before.
Huh. Is that so?
Yes. If there's one thing I can say for certain, it's that Yuya would never draw his blade without a very good reason. But, with that said, it's equally out of character for him to just disappear, with neither farewell nor fair warning. I also cannot know what course of action he might be capable of if coerced, or otherwise compelled by circumstances unbeknownst to me. Anyway, should you find him, please let me know as soon as possible.
Don't worry. You have our word.
From the sound of that, Paimon doesn't think Yuya was the one who attacked us as well.
Yes. It sounds as if something happened when the two men met each other. Let's pay a visit to the Nagato household.
I'm very sorry, but we cannot afford to pay what we owe right now. My husband has gone missing, and I'm still trying to find him.
No, you misunderstand us. We are here to help with the investigation. We'd like to ask you some questions about Mr. Nagato's disappearance, if we may.
Ah, I see. I thought the debt collectors had come to visit again. I'm sorry you have to see me in this dreadful state. Has some new information come out? Do you know where he's gone?
I'm afraid we don't have any new information at the moment. We're still trying to find out as much as we can to inform our search. With this in mind, can we perhaps ask some questions about your family's current situation?
For example, Paimon's struggling to understand why a collector would be strapped for Mora.
That's a long story. Ever since I've known him, he's been an avid collector of all sorts of things. He'd always get so animated when he was showing them to me. I knew nothing about the items myself, but seeing how enthusiastic and excited they made him, I was happy to believe that they were just extremely important to him. Everything was fine when we first got married, but as time went by, things changed for the worse.
Uh-oh, what happened?
He lost his sense of restraint. He started buying more and more things, and even resorted to borrowing money just so he could pay for them. Our expenses really spiraled out of control when he started getting interested in weapons. It was awful. There were days when he'd spend hours down at the warehouse, admiring his weapons even as debt collectors were descending upon our house. He wouldn't sell them, wouldn't even touch them. Just sat there staring at them like he was in a trance. I'm happy he has a hobby, and I'm willing to support him. But making ends meet has to come first. I've tried talking to him about it so many times, but he never listens. On the last day that I saw him, I gave him an ultimatum. I said, if he refused to sell his collectibles and pay off his debts, I would divorce him and take the children with me.
Whoa!
And that led to an argument.
Actually, it didn't. Generally, he's a quiet man who likes to go with the flow. On most things, he leaves the decision-making to me. You must understand, I never would have dreamed of threatening him with divorce if the debts hadn't pushed our family to the brink. After I said those words, he froze and was silent for a long time. When he finally spoke, he awkwardly mumbled that he would pick out a few items to sell. His voice was so meek and pitiful that I felt an urge to take everything back. But then what? If I didn't draw the line, what would happen to our family? Had I not indulged his bad habits, we wouldn't have found ourselves in such a predicament. And I also don't know if he had actually come to his senses, or if he was simply angry with me. The next thing I heard was that our warehouse had caught fire, and both he and the buyer had gone missing.
I see. I understand. Amenoma Yuya came to purchase a weapon from Mr. Nagato. During the sale, a fire broke out at the warehouse, and both men disappeared.
At first, I assumed they must have gotten into an argument over the price. But my husband has never been one to negotiate. He never even haggles when he's out buying groceries, so it's hard to imagine him getting into a fierce argument.
Maybe he was feeling the pressure from the debts?
I don't know. He just disappeared after the warehouse burned down. Perhaps he's too afraid to come home now that all his collectibles have been lost in the fire, and he's got no way to pay off our debts. Even though I'm still a little mad at him. We're a family, and I want us to face our family's crisis together. As long as he's willing to turn over a new leaf, I know we can work things out.
Please don't get upset. There could be more to this situation than meets the eye. If collecting things is a habit that Mr. Nagato had his whole life, it is quite unusual for this habit to change so drastically over a short period. But the information we gathered from the other side suggests Amenoma Yuya is also a mild-mannered man who would not be likely to start an argument. This situation is getting a little confusing.
A little confusing? More like completely mystifying.
Let's try a change of scenery and see if we can piece together what we've learned. Rest assured, we'll notify you if we find anything.
Thank you so much. I just want him to come home.
Based on the information we've gathered so far, I can only surmise that the sales meeting between the two men was somehow the catalyst for their disappearance. The fire at the warehouse likely played a part in how the situation unfolded, though its exact role is a mystery. Do you have any thoughts?
Well, Pyro was thinking that maybe someone accidentally knocked over an oil lamp and... Nope, never mind. Paimon's brain needs to rest for a while. Over to you.
An interesting explanation. I was also considering this possibility. Amenoma Yuya is an expert on swords. He could have noticed some problematic details about Mr. Nagato's collectibles. Maybe he recognized a blade as a fake, or a well-known stolen item. Either way, after arguing about it, the two men agreed to hide the truth of this matter. They thought a fire would destroy everything. But then the Tenryou Commission began investigating and uncovered some incriminating details, so they fled to protect their secrets. But it's a far-fetched theory. I can't imagine how they would have been able to reach an agreement. One fact that I keep coming back to is that Amenoma Yuya is polite and well-mannered, while Mr. Nagato is introverted and passive. Neither seems like the type of person who is inclined towards initiating conflict. Mr. Nagato, being heavily in debt, is also the only one of them with the potential motive to disappear after the fire. The more I ponder it, the more puzzling it becomes. Just what could have happened there? Right. Although the time frame seems to broadly match, no other details that we've learned seem to link the two events together. Amenoma Yuya lacks a key distinguishing feature of the attacker, namely that he is principally a practitioner of the blade testing techniques of Amenoma art, not those of the combat-oriented Ishin art.
Darn! We thought we could get two birds with one stone here, but at this rate, it's starting to look like a wild goose chase.
Let's keep going, since we've come this far. If we can solve the case, both Mr. Amenoma and Mrs. Nagato will be able to get some closure.
Okay, but where should we go now?
Let's head out of the city and check out the warehouse. There's still a chance we may be able to find some shreds of evidence. Wait. I hear something ominous in the wind.
Oh! This must be another one of those sounds that only you can hear. As sketchy as that whole thing seems, you did put it to good use when we were chasing down that vision thief at Beidou's tournament, so...
Now I'm picking up a strong scent in addition to the sound. It's right around here somewhere.
But there's nothing here.
It's gone now, but I can still sense the direction it left in. It felt very much like that ancient presence in Inazuma. The remnants of the Tatarigami. Indeed. But this unexpected spring of inauspicious energy may prove to be of benefit to our investigation. We should remain vigilant and approach slowly.
Huh. So it's an underground warehouse.
The force is definitely coming from down below. The source of the Tatarigami energy has long since left this place. But the residue it left behind still hasn't dissipated completely. Judging from the concentration, I would have to conclude that the Tatarigami source resided here for a very long time.
Mrs. Nagato said her husband used to hang around the warehouse by himself a lot.
It could well be that he was already under the influence of Tatarigami energy at that time. From what I've been told, Tatarigami does not turn all upon whom it preys into violent monsters, but most will develop a stubborn streak upon being exposed to the Tatarigami's unfulfilled will. Their interests become fanatical obsessions. Mr. Nagato had an interest in collecting to begin with. The influence of Tatarigami could explain why he became an obsessive hoarder, amassing more and more possessions, even as he put himself in grave debt.
So what should we do now? Go down and take a look?
Step back. I'll open the door and take a look inside. If we don't open this door, we can move no closer to the truth. You needn't worry. Both of us have faced far greater dangers than this. Relatively speaking, the risk here is trivial.
What's down there?
Everything's buried in debris. I can't see anything. It looks like the fire caused a cave-in, reducing the entire warehouse to rubble.
That was too scary! Paimon was so sure that the warehouse boogeyman was about to jump out at us!
All we can do now is keep searching in the direction that the Tatarigami energy source left this place. 2 ordinary humans, entangled with the Tatarigami. I fear much misfortune has already befallen them. Yes, let's go. If nothing else, it's vital that we find out where this Tatarigami energy is coming from. Quiet your mind and focus on what you sense around you. Perhaps you too will perceive its ominous presence in the wind.
There is no escape!
From this point, the trail appears to split into 2. The main source of the Tatarigami energy continued on into the distance, but a small portion remained here, and seems to be dissipating slowly. Quite possibly. Let's search the area.
Whoa! Look at all those hilly churls! They're acting really strangely!
Something seems to be drawing their attention. Let's take a closer look.
Judgment!
It's...
Ugh!
the looks of it, a letter written on a piece of torn clothing. The ink is bone dry. It must have been written quite some time ago. Well, let's take a look. According to this letter, a conflict arose because Amenoma Yuya wanted to seize a blade belonging to Mr. Nagato. Yuya started the fire that destroyed the warehouse and wounded Mr. Nagato in the fight. Mr. Nagato kept chase as long as he could, eventually stopping here to write this letter when his strength gave out.
So, where is he?
He was not only mortally wounded, but also under the heavy influence of Tatarigami. Add to that the fact that its aura seems to have attracted a horde of monsters, and I'm afraid he may no longer be with us. Whatever traces there may have been of his fate beyond after this point, they've since been disturbed by the hilly churls. There's nothing more for us to find here. Yes, right now we need to uncover some more important truths. If Amenoma Yuya is attacking other people indiscriminately, then the longer we take to find him, the more people risk meeting the same tragic end.
Right, so let's get moving.
I wouldn't be surprised if he, too, fell prey to the influence of the Tatarigami. For a practitioner of the martial arts, the easiest desire to inflame would be their pursuit of further power and skill. All the clues that at first seemed disparate and disconnected, it seems that now we know the thread that runs between them. I have a hypothesis that, if it's correct, not only explains the series of events leading to the two men's disappearance, but also zeroes in on the attacker's identity.
Wait, you figured it out? So these two cases are connected after all?
I believe so. But it's something of an outlandish idea. I will only be able to confirm my suspicions once we've met him in person. On with the search. We must stay vigilant. At any point now, we may find ourselves in danger. He seems to have stayed here for a long time.
Why here? Is there anything special about this place?
I'm not sure. But on closer examination, I sense that the aura may have lingered here at several different points in time.
Show yourself! It's no use hiding anymore.
Kaidehara Kazuha. It's you, at last.
Aha! So it is the same guy from before. What's your problem, huh? What could you possibly have against Kazuha?
Indeed, there should be no enmity between us. If it is Amenoma Yuya that stands before us. But what if instead of facing Amenoma Yuya, we are in fact facing the blade in his hand?
Now that you mention it, it is giving off a strange light. Whoa, whoa! Surely you don't mean... Are you serious?
Tatarigami energy often lodges itself within physical objects, then works to subtly affect any living organisms in its vicinity. The blade has resided in Mr. Nagato's warehouse for many years, affecting his state of mind, and more recently using the sale as a means to affect, or rather as a means to occupy, Amenoma Yuya's body.
You're sharper than I thought. You've already deduced the truth of the matter. Many, many years ago, I was forged by a famed bladesmith of the Ishin tradition. I was his pride and joy. In me, he placed all his hopes and dreams. As a descendant of the Kaedehara clan, you should be able to guess our greatest regret.
I presume it has something to do with the Raiden Gokaden.
Indeed. At that point in time, he failed to live up to the Raiden Shogun's expectations. In the end, all he could do was to flee the nation by sea on a ship bound for Snezhnaya. He was a bladesmith of great renown, a master of his craft. There was nothing that he could not accomplish. All he needed was more time and a little faith. And sure enough, in the end, he achieved what he had set out to do. All of his life's work, his wisdom, his skill, it culminated in his creation of me. He not only bestowed upon me the greatest of strength, but also endowed me with a consciousness of my own. In her conceit, the Raiden Shogun lost not only the single most perfect blade in the entire world, but also an irreplaceable achievement in the art of blade forging.
So, swords can become conscious and control people?
The people of the time in which I was born never believed I had that kind of power. They saw me as a mere blade, a sharp and well-crafted one, but in all other respects an ordinary weapon. But that gave me the opportunity to take action. After the death of my creator, I decided to leave Snezhnaya and began my long quest to return to the distant land of Inazuma. Moving from one person to the next, I controlled the minds of countless hosts along the way, each bringing me one step closer to my ancestral home. I seek but one thing: to face the full force of the Raiden Shogun's blade and prove my power, the might of Ishin art.
So Amenome Yuya was not your first victim. Tell me, what happens to those you've possessed when you've finished using them?
My hosts? Who cares what happens to them? They are but tools that serve my mission. When they got tired, or injured, or unusable, I hopped to the next one in line. All I needed them for was to take me back to Inazuma.
You're awful!
After I returned to Inazuma, I decided to bide my time in Nagato's warehouse until Amenome Yuya handed himself over to me on a silver platter. At long last, I'm approaching my journey's destination. By Amenome Yuya's body, I have found you, and by your hand, I shall defeat the Raiden Shogun. Kaedehara Kazuha, you stood against the Raiden Shogun's Muso no Hitotachi. There can be no other to serve as my host for what is to come. Now, give your body over to me!
Illusion shattered! Inazuma shines eternal!
And sever that divine light!
Shine down!
Yeah! Lights out. Inadmissible evidence!
Do not stand in my way, or I will strike you down too!
Your bluff's fooling no one. You've lost!
Lost? I can never lose. It is this body that has reached its limit, nothing more. Even if you defeat me here, the one who falls will not be me, but this man. He is but a puppet that can be replaced. I can take a new vessel at will. The end result is the same. I will end this wretch's life before you can lift a finger. And even if I were to lose my physical form, it is but a small setback. My consciousness shall endure. By any means necessary, and any medium available, I shall return and fulfill my destiny!
Your fighting style. It is indeed the forms of Ishin art. But from your movements, I sense only hatred and arrogance, as well as a thinly veiled mania and despair.
Really? You can tell all that just from his moves?
As I've mentioned before, the forms of Ishin art convey the user's thoughts and feelings. Since the blade is currently possessing Amenome Yuya's body, its movements express the innermost thoughts of the blade. If you ask me, the mania is probably due to your desperate, single-minded ambition. You believe I am your only hope.
Are you trying to claim that I am helpless without you? On his deathbed, he passed to me all of Ishin Art's secrets. The little that you know barely scratches the surface. In that regard, why would I ever need your help?
Because all of that is in the past. I've been wondering why you've not caused more trouble in all the years that you've been in Inazuma. If you are indeed a cursed blade that can possess its owner. Now that I've seen inside your mind, everything finally makes sense. You weren't biding your time. You were trapped. After all the time that's passed, you have grown weak. To the point that you are now unable to acquire a new host without making physical contact.
Oh, that's right. Pyro remembers now. Mr. Nagato had a habit of never touching his collectibles.
Only when Mr. Nagato witnessed his wife's distress and decided to sell his collectibles did you finally have an opportunity to reach out to Aminome Yuya and make your escape.
And what of it?
Well, that brings me to my second point. There's a despair in you that is so strong it threatens to overwhelm you. You were determined to fulfill your maker's ambition, whatever the cost. But this ambition is too grand and too heavy for you to bear. Each step you have taken has come at a great cost. I think you realized your limitations long ago. The more you clenched your teeth and pressed forward, the greater your fear of losing everything you had achieved grew, and the more you wished to run from the truth. But the way I see it, what began as an ambition has long since become a delusional fantasy.
What would you know about any of this? I'm just one step away from achieving my goal!
You returned to Inazuma to prove the unparalleled brilliance of Ishin art. But to make this arduous journey, you committed countless atrocities and showed a blatant disregard for human life, even if you were to sever that divine light. Is this truly the outcome that your maker would have desired?
You...
Sure, you inherited the secrets of Ishin art. But even as you made your journey to honor this legacy, you treated the ones who wielded you as mere tools to do your bidding. How could you possibly unleash the full potential of Ishin art when you act in perfect discordance with the principle of harmony between a blade and its bearer?
Silence, you blabbering fool! I must achieve my goal. This was his life's dream and the very purpose for which I was brought into being. I will concede that you are most perceptive. You see my predicament clearly. But you also underestimate my resolve.
And you should face reality.
Easy for you to say. Facing reality offers me nothing. I have no need of anything that would stand in my way. Not hesitation, not self-reflection, and certainly not your so-called reality. It is pointless to argue further, descendant of the Kaedahara clan. If you wish to save this man, then offer me your body in exchange.
How stubbornly you stick to your wayward path. I do not believe for a second that you can challenge the almighty Shogun in your current state. So let us make a bet, and I will put your strength to the test.
What? Surely you're not planning to agree to his demands.
Very well. Then find yourself some enemies with whom you wish to cross blades. A taste of my power will more than convince you. Once we have dealt with them, we shall proceed to Tenshukaku.
And as for your end of the bargain, if you lose, you must release Aminome Yuya from your control.
I accept.
Don't do this, Kazuha!
This is the only way to save Aminome Yuya. If we don't do this, he'll forever be the Blade's puppet. The Cursed Blade's strength is currently very weak, and I sense he's hesitating. This suggests his heart is still not completely devoid of honor. The power of the Tatarigami lies in intensifying existing obsessions. This is the reason Mr. Nagato and Aminome Yuya fell prey to it. Since I don't have any similar kinds of obsessions, I should be able to put up some resistance for a while.
But even so...
Even if things take a turn for the worse, I still have you both here with me. We have a chance here to save an innocent victim. I am willing to accept the risks entailed.
Your disdain for me betrays your woeful ignorance. I agreed to this bet because there are things I wish to learn too. Now, take me in your hand.
Kazuha?
I'm okay. I felt a little dizzy at first, but only for a moment. It's all right. So far, this was as I expected. I will. Thank you.
What should we do next? Have you got a plan, Kazuha?
We find some enemies. Although this blade has endured much turmoil, it probably hasn't experienced many real fights. If a blade built for Ishin art cannot enter a state of harmony between blade and bearer, it cannot unleash its true power. If he wants to avoid reality, then we need to fight until he has no choice but to face it. He shouldn't last long in an intense combat situation.
Wait a minute! Paimon remembers hearing about something from the Adventurers Guild. Since the Takasukasa clan abandoned that secret base, it's been held by Ronin ever since.
Ah, all right. Please lead the way.
What about Ameno Mayuya? What should we do with him?
The blade says he'll let Amenoma Yuya trail us silently. Although he hasn't regained his own consciousness yet, he is not in any immediate danger.
Are we sure this is a good idea? It's a pretty treacherous journey. Okay, fine. Just be careful.
Either. Everything on this journey to me.
There's more! There's more! Berry! Finally, it's my lucky day.
Fallen leaves, adorn my night! Wind strider! That hurts!
The berry! Finally,
How are you feeling? You okay?
I'm all right. The blade is performing largely as I expected. Having gone so long without proper use and maintenance, it's become very difficult to use. Though he's making every effort to persevere, I do not think he can last much longer.
Something else on your mind?
How strange. Rather than trying to control me, he is instead trying to match my fighting rhythm. Let's keep going.
Time to go.
Let's get down to business.
Into the wind.
My blade! There's more!
One with nature.
To the fairy! To the fairy! My lucky day! Going somewhere?
As one with wind and cloud. Wind strider.
High fairy! To the fairy!
Whoa! Something's up with the blade.
I can sense that his strength is slowly fading away. The blade is becoming more and more difficult for me to wield. He cannot hold out much longer. If he keeps persisting, he will likely break apart at any moment.
But what would that do to Amanome Yuya?
I will be careful with it. He also says he does not have any plans to give up easily. He's still trying to achieve his goal.
Wind strider. Clouds high. The birds call. Time to go. Wind strider. Time to go.
Are you okay? It looked like you were really struggling the entire fight.
Yes. And it looks like he's reached his limit.
The sheen's grown a bit dimmer again. It doesn't look anywhere near as impressive as it did at the start.
Perhaps this time, we'll finally have a chance to see his true form.
True form? What are you talking about? Huh? Is this the same blade as before? It looks like a piece of junk!
If you choose to continue in the state you're in, you wouldn't even be able to beat Samurai and Kairagi, much less the almighty Shogun. Maybe you did truly wield power to rival the Shogun's light when first forged. But the long journey from Snezhnaya back to Inazuma has left you battered and broken. It barely needs stating anymore. Your ambition is a flight of fancy. I've finally figured out why it was that you agreed to my bet. You wanted to reach a state of harmony with me. For perhaps then you would still be able to wield commendable power. But regrettably, we are nothing alike. I will never understand your obstinacy and cruelty, nor can I empathize with the one who made you. The only one who truly understood you had already passed away by the time you were born.
Huh? What's that supposed to mean?
Here they are! Take them down!
Where do they keep coming from? Yup, we can help this time.
Don't worry. I'll use my own blade. It's just more of the same.
Fallen leaves, adorn my night! Wind strike!
You fought better with your own sword.
You are a true Kaedehara in flesh and in spirit. Though we fought briefly together, you have seen me for who I really am. No one knew anything of my story throughout my travels, nor did I tell it to anyone. You are the first person to know the truth. I thought that if I could achieve Ishin harmony with you, perhaps there would still be a ray of hope for me.
But in this too, you have failed.
Indeed. No matter how hard I tried, I could not attain that perfect harmony that your personal blade does with you. Too much time has passed. My physical state is poor, and without proper maintenance, I can only disguise my true appearance behind an outer sheen. Yours is the blade that took on the Muso no Hitotachi. And what a magnificent blade it is. Perhaps I shall never reach that level of glory.
Actually, this is just a generic blade that I picked up during my travels in Liyue.
What?
Forging and maintenance are both important for a blade, but they are not everything. This blade has traveled the land with me for many years, and we have formed a close bond during that time. Plus, in the moment that I most needed it, I received aid from another power. Skill, blade, determination, and desire. All these must be aligned in the practice of Ishin art. There is something else I must tell you. Though your maker may not have been aware, your ability to possess your own consciousness derived from the power of the Tatarigami. Tatarigami is a malevolence from the ancient past. It is the source of your mania and savagery. Though you tried to cooperate with me while I was wielding you, the part of you driven by Tatarigami was constantly trying to seize control of my body.
I sensed it, but I couldn't change it. It is an integral part of my consciousness.
I resisted its temptations because I wanted to save Amenoma Yuya. But I do not know whether you yourself have any intention of trying to fight it. I feel a great sense of regret for you. Since you embarked on a journey bound for a destination you were destined never to reach. The moment you embarked on this journey, you lost the only person who could have ever unleashed your true potential. And yet there was no way for you to turn your back on his ambition. You have known this for a long time. It is the true source of your despair.
He gave me everything. My life, my form, my consciousness, and purpose. How could I possibly deny him his wish? I said to him, "Do not worry, from here on I shall forge your legacy." How could I go back on my word?
Aww.
I believe our bet is now settled. I have nothing further to say.
Where are you going, Kazuha?
He now has neither the ability nor the motivation to cause further harm. Let's give him some time to reflect on things. When I touched the hilt for the first time, it's as if I was transported to a strange dimension. It was somewhere I've never been. A bladesmith lay quietly on the bed, his frail face barely visible under the moonlight. His breaths were weak, and his life near its end. A newly forged blade lay by his side, listening attentively to his final words.
Wow. That was the Blade's memory, wasn't it?
Indeed. While in exile in Snezhnaya, the bladesmith eventually learned the truth behind everything that had happened. The Ishin art had been dealt a devastating blow by the desertion of its best smiths. He spent the rest of his life in the forge, not to vent his frustration and hatred, but to atone for his actions. He felt intense regret at being tricked by the Fatui, but he could never again return to his homeland. His sole wish was to one day return his single, proudest creation back to the land of his birth. So he instructed this sentient blade to find a way back to Inazuma, no matter how long or how hard the journey. But he never wished to rival the gods. All he wanted to show was that they once shone brilliantly as blade and smith, that they were still worthy of being trusted.
So that's the true story. But after that, the blacksmith's intentions were warped by the Tatarigami, slowly turning his proud creation into the cursed blade of today.
Right. I believe the bladesmith might never have known that the power he worked with was that of the Tatarigami. The hatred within that power is what sent the blade down its ill-fated path. This blade has committed unforgivable atrocities, but only because it lost its original master. No one was there to correct its errors when it was losing its way.
Shame it's too late now.
Yes, it is too late. Time would not wait or stop because of his determination. While the world moved on, his ambition remained stubbornly stuck at that fleeting moment at the dawn of his journey. He seems to have calmed down, though. Let's go and check in.
When I look back at the past, I can remember the day of my forging like it was just yesterday. I once told him that I would pay any price to fulfill his wishes. Such was the debt I owed to him for giving me the gift of consciousness. But darkness and slaughter numbed the mind. Over time, I lost sight of the difference between gratitude and grudge. Not only did I fail to fulfill his ambition, I also defiled it.
You are finally seeing reality clearly.
Since we agreed to the terms of the bet, I will honor the agreement and release Ame no Mayuya. But I still cannot bring myself to forsake his ambition. It is the entire purpose for my existence. So, may I ask you to help me fulfill the ambitions of myself and my creator?
Hey! Now you're adding yours into the mix, too? Jeez, don't push your luck, mister.
It has to be done in this order. At least hear what I have to say. And if you don't agree, I will still release Ame no Mayuya as promised. My physical form, as well as the knowledge I possess, should still be of some value to you.
His attitude has grown a lot milder. What do you think, Kazuha? Should we give him a chance?
Let's hear it.
Thank you all. When I was first forged, my maker was already terminally ill. He told me that he had wanted me to have the grandest opening battle. Alas, after that, he never rose from his sickbed again. Nor have I ever had the chance to prove myself in battle since. My fights were devoid of any noble meaning. They were merely the next step in my never-ending journey. The next in a long line of transgressions. You are a fine warrior. I would like to request your hand in battle and experience a true duel between samurai.
Oh? And who would be the opponent?
I will release Ame no Mayuya and restore his consciousness. Perhaps after that, you can convince him to commit to a fight with you. He must have plenty of reasons to both hate me and desire a good fight.
Understood. Then let's start by waking him up and seeing if he has the stamina and will to fight.
I see. He used my body to inflict harm on others. I utterly despise him and his actions. But since he stayed true to your agreement by releasing me, he must still have some remaining semblance of honor. If a duel can help to set this state of affairs in order, I am willing to put myself forward. I do not wish to be a mere victim in this story.
There's no need to worry. We'll vouch for your innocence to the Tenryu Commission.
Thanks for your help. Who knows how this would have ended without your intervention?
All right, then let's move on. More Ronin could appear at any moment. We can't stay here. In any case, for a final duel, I think we should aim for a greater sense of ceremony.
This reminds Paimon a bit of the Crux Clash. Yep, we still can't let our guard down. Even now, Paimon has a sneaking suspicion that Blade hasn't told us everything. Still, even if he's way past the point of redemption, it's hard not to feel a teensy bit sorry for him. Are you ready?
Ready? Okay. All right then. Successor of Isshin Art, Kaedahara Kazuha.
Successor of Amenoma Art, Amenome Yuya.
Honored to cross blades with you.
It is my honor also.
Wind Strider! It's fine. As one with wind and cloud, Wind Strider!
Thank you for the experience, although he appears battered and broken. In your hands, it seems he's regained a glimmer of brilliance. His sense of savage cruelty has completely faded away. But that same sense of determination remains strong.
You also fought well. I'm sure he relished the experience. There are a few things that I shall leave him to tell you himself.
I must apologize to you for all that has transpired.
You need not seek my forgiveness. Nor do I have the right to forgive you on your victim's behalf. It is too late for all of that.
I do not wish for forgiveness. I only hope that you will see my transgressions as mine alone, and not let them stain the legacy of Isshin Art. I strayed far from the straight and narrow path, but the Isshin Art still has a worthy successor in Kaedahara Kazuha. I beseech you, please understand this.
Yes. I too trust Mr. Kaedahara to do the right thing.
Thank you, successor of Amenoma Art.
This blade has also told me that he has another wish. He would like to visit the Amenoma smithy. Maybe we can go back there together.
What does he want to go there for?
I'm not sure, but I think that all this is about to come to an end.
It's Yuya! You have returned!
I am sorry to have troubled you. It's all thanks to them that I was able to return safely.
A prized Isshin blade, turned weapon that controls the human mind. Considering their forging philosophy, this was indeed within the realm of possibility. This is a great pity, but I have some good news as well. Ryuji, from the Bonton Sango Detective Agency, tells me that they've found the missing Mr. Nagato.
Really? Is he okay?
Yes. Badly wounded, but he will live. And now that Yuya is back, it seems like the final ending to this story is a happy one after all.
I think I know what you want to do.
What's wrong, Kazuha? Is the blade whispering in your ear again?
Yes. He said he wants to take control of me for a brief moment.
What? No way! Hasn't it learned its lesson?
He tells me that he's thought of another way to fulfill his maker's wish. And he assures me that he won't use my body for anything nefarious. I have decided to let him do it.
But... Guess there's nothing we can say to change your mind, huh?
Thank you. I will explain my reasons later. Okay. I am ready. Let us begin. Please, stay true to your promise.
My power is almost spent. Without him, my eventual demise is inevitable. But if I abandon the future to give everything I have in this moment, my physical form can be forged anew.
Everything? You mean...
Yes. The cost is my entire consciousness. You were right. There's nothing that I can accomplish now. But there's still a chance for Ishin art. Once remade, I will be a valuable resource for your studies. Ishin lives on, and its finest hour is yet to come. Even if I am not the one to prove its might to the Shogun, as long as it is an Ishin blade, crafted by Kaedehara hands, it will still fulfill his final wish. Thank you, son of the Kaedehara clan. Over the years, my real name has been forgotten by all. I'm ashamed to utter it, yet it remains strong in my mind. Kagotsurube Ishin. This name is now yours to keep.
Rest in peace.
So, that's why he said it had to be done in that order. His consciousness will disappear forever after fulfilling the bladesmith's wish.
Kagotsurube Ishin. It was the first time I ever heard his name. It seems like deep down he disapproved of his own actions, and thus chose to bury this name deep within his heart. Only in the final moments, before his consciousness faded, was he willing to entrust it to another.
Seems like he really wanted to fulfill his maker's wish.
The same fervent ambition that gave him the motivation to keep going forward also fueled the stubborn determination that blinded him to the path ahead. Speaking for myself, I'd rather see him recognize and atone for his mistakes than see him punished for them. I understand. Perhaps this is a flaw in my personality. I've always been captivated by grand aspirations. Hearing his wish to rival the divine light touched something inside of me. Just as the sight of those who fought to repeal the Vision Hunt decree did. Your quest to face the gods and trace your sibling inspires me in the same way. After everything I've seen, perhaps these pursuits fascinate me a little more than they should.
Oh, Kazuha.
I will continue to support you from this point on. Know that you will have my assistance whenever you need it.
Wait, shouldn't we also go update Kujo Kamaji?
Oh, you're right. We need to tell him about the findings of our investigation, and it's also time to give him a response to the offer he made me.
Welcome. I just heard that the news of my wedding has been officially announced. It seems so sudden. I wasn't ready yet.
Yeah, about that. It's kinda complicated.
I see. So someone's trying to take advantage of our marriage.
If you proceed with the wedding, the repercussions for you are likely to be minimal. But we must take Lady Hiragi's situation into consideration.
I've previously considered this possibility. But in the end, we're getting married for true love. And I've promised her that I'll do everything in my power to protect her.
I understand where you're coming from, but to be frank, she should not need your protection. Or, to put it another way, you have tacitly admitted that Lady Hiragi will need your help to get through the hard times ahead, which perhaps suggests that, deep down, you realize all she stands to lose. I don't mean to criticize you. It is natural to want to protect our loved ones. You're an intelligent and gentle person, and I'm sure you would have been able to think about this more objectively were you not so emotionally involved in the situation. I'm sure you admire Lady Hiragi for being the independent, gentle, resilient, and strong-willed person she is. For the sake of marrying you, this wonderful woman will become someone who has to depend on you for the rest of her life. Are you really okay with that?
I love her with all my heart, and would do anything to make her happy. That's why I cannot abide to see her suffer or be manipulated by other people. Yashiro, Commissioner, you're right. It was naive and selfish of me to take things this far. But it's too late now, isn't it? There are notices everywhere.
I have a plan, but it needs a villain. Sir Kujo, in order for my plan to work, you and I must both play the role of antagonists. But it is not without its risks. Are you willing to help?
If there's a way to salvage this, then let's hear it.
I've told the people at the Kanjo Commission that the marriage isn't going to unify the Kanjo Commission and the Tenryou Commission. On the contrary, it's a terrible idea that will marginalize the Kanjo Commission. The context for this is that they are planning to use this marriage to bring down the Hiragi clan. And the key to their success is coming up against no resistance to the marriage from the Tenryou Commission. But what if we were to imagine for a moment that since the affairs of the Vision Hunt decree, the Tenryou Commission has been planning to make a move against the weakened Kanjo Commission? The only reason you have been hesitant to act since taking over the Tenryou Commission is because you care about Lady Hiragi's feelings. And so, your plan is to liaise with the Yashiro Commission, to marry her and bring her out of the Kanjo Commission as soon as possible. Once that is achieved, as the person in charge of the Tenryou Commission, you no longer have any reason to hesitate.
I see. This is an ingenious plan. It takes advantage of the situation perfectly.
Exactly. Our purpose is to change Lady Hiragi's position from an unnecessary burden to an indispensable asset. By doing so, we can even strengthen her position in the Kanjo Commission. Once our adversaries realize how the network of connections behind the scenes really looks, they'll do their utmost to stop this wedding from happening. Then, we simply leave them to clear up the mess they've created.
Got it.
So the network of connections? This is all way too complicated for Paimon. Can you just tell us what you need us to do?
We have to make sure that the behind-the-scenes story comes to the attention of our dear friends in the Kanjo Commission. Matsura, with whom I spoke earlier, will now be fearing the worst. No doubt he'll be on the lookout for the first sign of a crisis. In that case, he will almost certainly have placed informants throughout Inazuma City. What we need to do is to use these informants as a breeding ground for our fake intel. Sir Kujo, there are certain things that I need you to attend to personally. It's almost time. My ninja has located one of the informants. Let's go and see if he'll take the bait. That person is one of Matsura's informants. Let's follow him. Be careful not to get seen.
Everything is going smoothly.
Did you see that? Sir Kujo Kamaji just came past here with a huge group of people.
Could it be related to the wedding announcement?
Maybe, but from the look on his face, it seems like something much more serious. He and his men seem pretty intense at the moment. Isn't it all a bit excessive for a wedding?
Where'd he go? He was right there a moment ago. Seems he disappeared in a blink of an eye. If only we'd made less noise.
That person is one of Matsura's. Let's follow him.
Did you see that? Sir Kujo Kamaji just came past here with a huge group of people.
Could it be related to the wedding announcement?
Maybe, but from the look on his face, it seems like something much more serious. He and his men seem pretty intense at the moment. Isn't it all a bit excessive for a wedding?
Seems like he's noticed us. Knew he should have been quieter.
That person is one. Let's follow him.
Did you see that? Sir Kujo Kamaji just came past here with a huge group of people.
Could it be related to the wedding announcement?
Maybe, but from the look on his face, it seems like something much more serious. He and his men seem pretty intense at the moment. Isn't it all a bit excessive for a wedding?
The Tenryou Commission has sent a load of people to Rito. I guess it must have something to do with the wedding. I think in all there must have been about 100 people so far.
That doesn't sound good. What could be going on? I hope it's just Sir Kujo Kamaji being overcautious. The news is spreading fast, but it appears Master's fears may be well placed. There's no way they sent this many people just to escort the bride. I have to investigate.
He ran off!
As expected. Let's follow him.
Wow! It's like the whole Tenryou Commission is here.
Excuse me, has something happened on this road? I'm a businessman passing through, and it's a little disconcerting to see this place so heavily guarded.
Ah, please don't be alarmed. As I'm sure you've heard, the wedding of Sir Kujo Kamaji and Lady Hiragi Chisato will take place any day now. Sir Kujo decided to send for Lady Hiragi ahead of time, and have her live in Inazuma City during the run-up to the wedding.
I see.
We are here to clear the way for Lady Hiragi. Not just us either. You'll see more Tenryou Commission members as you go further along. We're all here for the same duty.
Isn't this a little excessive?
Sir Kujo holds Lady Hiragi in the highest regard, and wants to treat her with the utmost respect, from beginning to end.
I understand. Sorry to disturb your work. Drat. It's exactly as Master feared. They say they're here to guard the road, but really they're poised to attack if Master doesn't allow Lady Hiragi to leave Rito. Wait, no. If Lady Hiragi does leave, they'll have all the more reason to strike. But we're in no state to defend against a Tenryou Commission attack. I must tell Master right away.
He ran off again!
That should do it. The seeds have been sown. In this atmosphere, mounting suspicion will nurture fear among the Kangjo Commission. Now, we wait patiently for it to grow and ferment. The calm before the storm is always the part that unsettles people the most.
Are they really gonna own up and apologize, just like that?
If you're curious to find out, you can visit the Hiragi clan in Rito in a couple of days. I have some other business to attend to, so I won't be spending any more time on this situation. In any case, we've made our move. It's only a matter of time before they give up and surrender. This is not my first time. Well then, goodbye for now. I truly hope that things will work out in Hiragi Chisato's best interests.
He left kind of abruptly. Are things really gonna turn out like he predicted? Paimon too. Well, let's go to Rito again in 2 days.
These people from the Tenryou Commission have been here for days now.
I guess they're here to pick up Lady Hiragi. But why would it be taking so long?
I heard that the Kanjo Commission suddenly said they don't want Lady Hiragi to leave. To be honest, I'd be hesitant if I were her. A crowd this size comes to Rito? Who knows what they could be planning?
Shh, stay quiet. Someone might hear you.
Oh, right. Sorry. How did things get to this point?
Hello. How may I help? We arrived here 2 days ago to escort Lady Hiragi to Inazuma City. Sir Kujo Kamaji gave us very strict orders, so we have to obey. But every time we attempt to receive the bride, the Hiragi clan always finds an excuse to delay things. Since we haven't fulfilled our duties yet, we decided to stay in Rito until Lady Hiragi is ready to come with us. We apologize. It was not our intention to stay here so long. We promise our presence here will not impact ordinary people's lives. We can only hope that the leaders of the Hiragi clan will start to cooperate soon. If this stalemate continues, who knows? Sir Kujo might give us orders to be less accommodating.
How much longer does your master plan to hold them off?
I have no idea. We're stuck in limbo here. Master's been very on edge these past few days. He gets irate over the smallest things, and is suspicious of everything. He's been yelling at me a lot. I understand that he's anxious, but I mean, what can we do? I've told him before, never cross the Yashiro Commissioner.
Yeah, good advice. With him, you just know that whatever he's doing, a lot of preparation has gone into it. If Lady Hiragi is really taken away, then what will the Tenryou Commission do? And what will the Yashiro Commission do?
Maybe we should tell Master to discuss things with Lady Hiragi.
Hiragi Chisato is now at the center of every conversation in Rito. By now, the Kanjo Commission probably knows how important she is. But what about what she thinks?
Oh, Traveler! I assume you've heard about everything that's been going on out there. What on earth is happening?
Don't worry, we can explain everything. So, what happened was...
After the Tenryou Commission arrived, they suddenly became alarmed. They keep having secretive discussions and won't allow me to have any direct contact with the Tenryou Commission. I never would have thought that this was Sir Kamisato's plan. Now it all makes sense. I'm sorry. I haven't. Maybe there's no right or wrong decision. Maybe everything would be easier if I simply didn't have the choice. I used to tell myself things like this to avoid having to think about it. But once I saw the notices appearing out of nowhere on the streets, signaling that the wedding was confirmed, I didn't feel reassured at all. Instead, I felt a great sense of regret. I keep thinking back to what Sir Kamisato said. This is supposed to be my bright and beautiful future. But what if it's not? I can happily accept that if someone was trying to take advantage of my marriage, I should absolutely refuse to go through with it. But that's not the answer I'm looking for. And also, now that things have escalated to this point, it will be tricky to resolve.
Ah, Lady Hiragi, here you are. You scared me for a second. I thought you'd gone missing. You... Wait, you're the ones who were with the Yashiro Commissioner that day. What do you think you're doing here? Are you trying to convince Lady Hiragi to leave?
Calm down. They're my friends. They're just here to visit me.
Friends? Are you sure? Just friends? Lady Hiragi, I told you already, these are exceptional circumstances. You need to be more vigilant in everything you do. You are extremely important to us, and to the entire Kanjo Commission. Who's to say they don't have a hidden agenda?
If you want to accuse us of trying to abduct her, just come out and say it!
Don't be rude. You've been very highly strung lately, seeing everything as a threat. Listen to me. I know all the ins and outs of everything that's happened so far. His arrival might well be your very last chance to fix this. The present state of affairs in Rito shows me that the situation has escalated well past the point where you could hope to control it. If this deadlock continues any longer, we will have nothing to gain and much to lose. This is not an order. All I need you to do is give me an explanation and take responsibility for the situation.
Understood, my lady. I shall discuss with the others right away.
Good job, Chisato. You handled that well.
I was so nervous. But I thought things are now so critical that I should at least give it a try. And it worked remarkably well. Yes, well, let's wait and see what happens. I hope they provide a satisfactory response.
We had a serious discussion and reflected on our mistakes. In all honesty, no one can handle the weight of the situation here. Everyone is besides themselves with worry. It'll drive us mad if it continues any longer. Ah, I'm so sorry. My actions were radical and duplicitous. I was selfish and ignored the greater good. And then I left the situation to fester. Would you please give us a second chance? For my lady's sake, please give the Kanjo Commission another chance. I suppose you're right. The only person who can change the Tenryou Commission's mind will be the Yashiro Commissioner. We'll head off to the Kamisato estate shortly and beseech him to help us with the utmost sincerity. Lady Hiragi, might I ask you to join us? You are the most important person. Without you, we have no other way.
Let's go and see.
By the way, aren't you a good friend of the Yashiro Commissioner? Please put in some good words for me. Yashiro Commissioner, I'm sure you've heard the news. The Tenryou Commission has now occupied Rito, refusing to leave until we hand Lady Hiragi over to them. I realize I have greatly offended you with my atrocious actions, and I realize also that this must sound like the very height of absurdity. But please, have mercy, good sir.
I'm sorry, Mr. Matsura. I'm exceptionally busy and have but a moment to spare before my next engagement. I fear this leaves no time for small talk. So please, if you would be so kind, get straight to the point.
I know our apology means nothing to you, but we really have nothing else left to offer by this point. I'm terribly sorry. Everyone in the entire Kanjo Commission now realizes the gravity of this situation. Lady Hiragi is indispensable to us. We promise to always support her. So, would it be at all possible for you to talk to Sir Kujo once more, on our behalf?
You make it sound so easy. The Tri-Commission will be ridiculed by the public if we choose to withdraw the notices now and eat our words. What do you plan to do about this? To lose face for the Tri-Commission is to bring shame to Her Excellency. Are you and your associates ready to face the thunderous wrath of the almighty Shogun?
We'll take full responsibility. We'll publish a new notice and hold a conference to explain the situation. We will make sure that the public knows this was all a huge misunderstanding. We'll do everything we can to minimize the impact. Everything we can.
Master Matsura, you should have known it would come to this. Whatever were you thinking? But the Tri-Commission must always put the interests of Inazuma first, regardless of what Sir Kujo and I may feel at this present moment. If the situation in Rito is left to fester any further, things may get out of control. But Lady Hiragi and the inhabitants of Rito are innocent. If we fail to contain the situation promptly, the rumor mill will wreak havoc on the Tri-Commission's reputation. Try keeping a pet bird. You'll see what I mean. Songbirds who know how to hold a tune can be very pleasant to listen to, but they can also become irritating if they don't know when to stop. And as for the ones with excessively long tongues, well, they're so insufferable that they can't be kept as pets at all. But it doesn't take a moment to cut out their tongues and silence them for good.
Yes, I understand.
I've listened to your concerns, and I'll talk to Sir Kujo for you. But I can't guarantee that he will change his mind.
I understand. Thank you for your help, Yashiro Commissioner.
All right, you ought to return now. I'm sure you have a sizable mess to deal with back in the Kanjo Commission.
Okay, then please excuse me. Thank you once again, Commissioner.
Ah, yes, Lady Hiragi. I have something to tell you. Would you mind?
Oh? Why, of course. Sir Kamisato, you became a completely different person just now. It felt so intense.
Unruly servants like him need to be severely reprimanded. As a commissioner, the Almighty Shogun trusts me to do her will. I did as I should. But now, I'd like to take off my commissioner hat and share a personal story with you.
Oh, please. I'd love to hear it.
You must have heard that the Kamisato clan once went through an extremely difficult period. My father worked incredibly hard to compensate for the grave errors made by the Kamisato clan long ago and restore our reputation. The work took a toll on his health and ultimately led to his untimely demise. My mother loved him dearly. She passed soon after. This sudden turn of events dealt a heavy blow to the Yashiro Commission. Behind the scenes, things became very unstable. Everyone thought that the Kamisato clan had lost power. That made my sister and me nothing but burdens, hindering the ambitions of others. It may sound preposterous now, but I assure you that is the truth of what the Yashiro Commission has been through.
Huh. Pretty similar to how the Kanjo Commission is now.
Back then, I had no choice but to accept the position I was in. While I desperately looked around for powerful supporters, I endured smear campaigns and attempts to exploit me. I had no other choice. I had to honor my parents' dying wishes, and I also had a young sister to take care of. I didn't mind what became of me, but my family. No one can ever be allowed to trample over my precious family. Fortunately, I persisted, and the Kamisato clan was able to survive this storm.
I think I now know where my sense of loss and confusion was coming from. Shinojo once told me that he saw what was in me in a way that no one else did. That's why he couldn't bear to see me live the rest of my life depending on someone else. I thought the reason I felt unsettled was because of uncertainty over getting married. But the fact is, it's because I felt too young and inexperienced to handle the situation facing me.
The reason why Sir Kujo was able to face the prospect of marriage so confidently is because he's prepared for anything.
That's it. The situation I'm facing now is the same one he faced back then. When his clan was in crisis, he bravely drew his blade and challenged the Almighty Shogun. And now, it is time for me to make a stand and become my own person.
Well said. I'm sure once you have grown and gained confidence, your father will be able to let go and allow you to decide how you want to live the rest of your life. It might not sound exciting, but this kind of personal growth is a necessary step in the pursuit of true happiness.
And I'm sure I can get there. I will use this as an opportunity to take over the responsibilities of the Hiragi clan. I'll think about marriage again after everything is more settled. This puts less pressure on Kamaji, and means I can support and protect myself without having to worry about becoming a burden or dependent on someone else.
My best wishes to both of you were and remain heartfelt. When the time comes for the wedding to go ahead, I will come to congratulate you once more.
Thank you, Sir Kamisato. I am grateful for everything you have shared with me. Now, if you'll excuse me, I have a lot to deal with back home.
Take care, Lady Hiragi. I'm confident that on your return, you will find your Kanjo Commission associates most receptive to your instruction.
Yes. In fact, my recent experience suggests the same. Thank you once again.
She really has the air of a leader now. Hats off to you too, sir. Everyone thought there was no way out until you pulled that super smart strategy out of nowhere.
In fact, counter-checking is a perfectly common maneuver in the game of chess. Our rival this time was easy to deal with. He was smart, but short-sighted, and sloppy in his execution. This outcome is entirely within my expectation.
Even so, Paimon could never come up with a plan that cunning in a whole lifetime. Anyway, it's kind of a relief to see that Chisato has decided to set the Hiragi clan straight.
I agree. Stability in Inazuma benefits me as well. I wasn't about to pass up an opportunity to make less trouble for myself. Well, the fact is that I am first and foremost the Yashiro Commissioner. Perhaps for Master Matsura, power is his life's pursuit. But for me, nothing matters more than the stability of Inazuma. A stable nation is the prerequisite for a stable Yashiro Commission. Only then can the Kamisato clan and the other Yashiro Commission clans have a peaceful existence. But human desire will always be a factor in the equation. This is not the first situation of its kind, nor will it be the last. All I have tried to do is make sure the three parties to the Tri-Commission serve to restrain each other. Stasis is not the only form of stability. A balance of power leaving no room for maneuver achieves the same end. Another positive outcome is that everyone recognizes how important Lady Hiragi is now. I think I did her a sizable favor in that regard. Dealing with the Hiragi clan will be much easier for her than navigating a new and unfamiliar one.
There were so many things at play over this one wedding! Wait a second! You weren't trying to stop the wedding from the very beginning, were you?
I thought straight away it was bad timing. Nevertheless, everything I said to Hiragi Chisato was entirely sincere. If you choose to give up your stance on something once, you'll be having to compromise for the rest of your life. I didn't want to see her suffer because she didn't realize what she was getting into. Now, she has the chance to become her own person. Let's see who she becomes.
Okay then, guess we'll have to wait and see.
All right. Farewell, and profuse thanks to you both. I shall have to host you at the Kamisato estate when my sister is next available.
Looks like everything's resolved. Masterfully done. Everything was perfect. Well, except for one minor detail. I somehow ended up with a glass of very peculiar tasting milk.
Didn't you like it? I distinctly remember you saying you are quite partial to exotic flavors.
Oh! My lord?
The Traveler had one of those as well.
I'm sure he's made a great impression on you.
The Traveler did indeed play a critical role in this case. I'm sure both families would have been more guarded against me had he and his companion not been present. It wouldn't have been so easy to get to the heart of the matter.
There you go again, my lord. Placing the focus on other people while discreetly performing your job to perfection.
Naturally. Yes. Now that we're both free, let's finish off that game of chess we started a few days ago.
You've returned. I hear that the issue has been resolved. Though this was a treacherous investigation indeed, we're most fortunate that no lives were lost. The Tenryou Commission has already attended to the danger at the warehouse. The investigation into Amanome Yuya should conclude soon. I do not believe he will be charged with any crime.
Wow, you sure kept your ear to the ground.
Then we needn't recount all the details again. Now, as to your earlier offer, I wish to give you my answer. Please, take a look at this blade.
What's this?
Kagotsurube Ishin, a weapon crafted using a long-lost blade forging art of the Kaidahara clan. By means of a series of fortuitous events, I was able to recover and restore him. I also promised him that I will continue to study and pass on the secrets of Ishin art. And so, it looks like I will likely continue with my journey across the nations, learning more about this blade as I go.
I see. I understand.
The Kaidahara clan has always been a family of bladesmiths, so it is only proper for me to continue on this path. Were I to accept your goodwill, I may find myself embroiled in conflicts between the shogunate and Sangonomiya. That would not suit me.
You misunderstand. That was most certainly not our intent.
I am aware, but I still desire to continue walking my own path.
Very well. I can understand. Then let's pretend this offer was never raised. However, if you should ever change your mind or find yourself in need of the Shogunate's assistance, please do not hesitate to inform me.
Great. Thank you for your generosity.
Where will you travel to next, Kazuha?
I'll probably take to the seas with Captain Beidou again for now. As for my next destination, let's see where the wind takes me.
Quietly now. No! Game's up. Fun's over. Gotcha. Quietly now.
You're toast!
Let's spark things up a little.
Dodge this! Oh, so sorry.
Things are about to get dicey. Busted. Here comes the catch. Quietly now. Rain outlines your fate.
Freeze! Don't get frostbite.
Witness the power of Gua. No, my sword!
This moment will be frozen in time. Cool it!
Rain cutter!
Oh, so sorry.
Give up!
Boba, get them!
Come a little closer.
Your life is mine.
Nice and spicy!
You're in for a little shock.
Out of the frying pan, into the fire! Hey-ya!
Try not to enjoy this too much.
Submit!
Dodge this!
This one will be frozen in time.
Power that ended Hypostasis!
Cool it!
Add Astra. Time for takeoff. Brace yourself. Motion to compel.
The fairy.
Judgment! Let's play!
Torn to oblivion! Illusion shattered!
Incinerate! Time for your arraignment! Think you can get away? I wouldn't glide. Here we go.
There is no escape!
Shiver!
Miscalculate.
Shine down! Inazuma shines eternal!
Boom! Punishment! Time for takeoff. Brace yourselves.
Illusion shattered!
Motion to compel. Breath of the flame. Let's play. Think you can get away?
Now you shall perish! There is no escape!
Incinerate!
You can't run!
Shiver!
Ad Astra. Thank you for
Judgment!
Illusion shattered! You can't run! Torn to oblivion!
Time for takeoff.
There is no escape! Ha! Judgment! Ha!
Lights out.
Ha! Yeah!
Motion to compel. Ja. Ja.
Ha! Illusion shattered!
Brace yourself.
Yeah!
Judgment! Incinerate! Yahoo!
Yeah!
Judgment!
Yeah! Shiver!
Motion to compel. Here we go.
Yeah!
Tip and boom! Inadmissible evidence! Ja!
You can't run! There is no escape!
Brace yourselves. Incinerate! Lights out. Let's play!
Shine down! Now you shall perish! Shiver!
Boom boom! Breath of a foot! Think you can get away?
Illusion shattered! Yeah! Inazuma shines eternal!
Punishment! Here we go!
Shine down! escape! Ha! Shiver! Judgment! Now you shall perish! Illusion shattered!
Time for takeoff.
You can't run!
Let's play! Inadmissible evidence!
There is no escape! Judgment! Punishment! Inazuma shines eternal! Shine down!
Here we go! Motion to compare!
There is no escape! Shiver! Now you shall perish!
Yahoo! Incinerate! Let's play! Motion to compel! Time for your arraignment! Think you can get away?
Judgment!
Maybe this is just fate's dark design.
Inazuma shines eternal!
Detached from the world.
You can't run! Judgment!
Time for takeoff. Let's play!
You can't run!
Inadmissible evidence! Boom boom! Yeah! Lights out. Yeah! Brace yourself!
Judgment!
Think you can get away? Yahoo!
You can't run! Yeah! Punishment! Judgment! You can't run!
Now that we made it to Sumeru, our next objective should be to head to Sumeru City and find a way to meet with Lesser Lord Kusanali. And speaking of Lesser Lord Kusanali, even though we haven't heard too much about her, she doesn't seem to be the same deity who abducted your sister. But even so, people call Sumeru the Nation of Wisdom, you know. If we can get a chance to meet the God of Wisdom, maybe she can give us some useful information. But Paimon doesn't know the way to Sumeru City. Maybe we can climb up to that spot with the statue of the Seven on it. That'll give us a way better view of things. Even if we can't see exactly where the city is, at least we'll be able to check for some smaller settlements nearby. Wait a second. Look! There's someone up ahead! Perfect timing! Now we can just ask for directions rather than wander around like lost adventurers. Hey there! We're not from around here and seem to have gotten a little lost. We'd like to ask for some directions. Huh? Did they not hear Paimon? Hey! You over there! Could you give us some directions?
Huh?
What's going on here? There's no way she could have missed that. Wait! Could she be ignoring us? How dare she? Well, even so, she might be heading someplace where we could find other people to ask. Let's keep our distance and follow her. When we get the chance, we'll just ask someone else for directions. Come on, let's follow her. Just keep quiet. Make sure she doesn't notice us. Huh? She just walked near that small waterfall and then suddenly vanished. Paimon thought this cave would lead to a village or something, but it looks like that's not the case. Look, she's sitting over there. Wait, she couldn't possibly be living here, could she? What should we do now? Do we try asking her for directions again? All right, then. It's not like we have anyone else we can ask. Even if she's not very friendly, we just need her to point us in the right direction. That's all. Oh. What a lovely smell. It's coming from that sensor over there. This is definitely not your typical place to call home, but at least it smells nice. Maybe living here wouldn't be too bad after all. Huh? What's the matter? You don't look too good. What? Is the smell making you feel sick? Strange. Paimon doesn't feel anything. What's happening? Traveler? This is no time for a nap. Oh, come on, wake up. The Traveler's been out for a long time now.
Yes, you can relax. Believe me, Master is extremely knowledgeable. If he says that he's going to be alright, then there's absolutely nothing to worry about. Oh, are you awake now?
Oh, thank goodness! Traveler, you're finally awake! Well, we're at... Good question. Where are we? Paimon was in such a panic when you passed out that she even forgot to ask what place this is.
This is Gandharva Ville. It was originally built by scholars from Sumeru as a place to rest in the rainforest. Now it's mainly used by the forest rangers as a base of operations. My name is Collei. I'm a trainee forest ranger. My master and I found you passed out during our patrol, so we brought you here. Oh, no things are necessary. I didn't do anything really. By the way, how are you feeling now? Any discomfort? Oh, that's Master's herbal medicine you're tasting. He gave you some while you were unconscious. Before I forget, Master mentioned you should take more medicine once you wake up. Whoops!
Collei, what's the matter? Were you trying to retrieve the medicine? As I've already told you, you must be careful with these. All right, I'll get it for you once I'm finished here.
Sorry, Master.
Now, the guide to Avidya Forest's edible fungi is clearly posted on our bulletin board. But if Farbode forgets which mushrooms to avoid one more time, I'll have no choice but to leave the guide somewhere a little more visible. Like right smack on his forehead so others can remind him to be careful.
Right? This is the second time he's come down with food poisoning this month. I'll be sure to give him a good talking to.
Yes, please do. If, on the off chance, Farbode simply enjoys having little imaginary fairies dance before his eyes, then we'll just let him be. But the next time he requires any of our medicine, be sure to charge him accordingly. So, how are you doing? Feeling better?
Oh, this is my master, Forest Watcher Tighnari. He is chief officer over all the rangers here in Gandharva Ville.
I already informed Paimon about the reason you fell unconscious earlier. But now that you're awake, let me explain it for you as well. It is common practice for Sumeru scholars of certain darshans to dedicate themselves to training and meditation in isolated areas, particularly the nearby forests. While meditating, they use a certain incense known as spirit borneol to help calm their minds as they enter a state of deep rumination. In hopes of asking directions, you two followed a scholar named Hypatia into her cave. The incense you smelled inside was the spirit borneol I just mentioned. That incense typically has no effect on most people, but for a very select few, it can have profound effects on one's cognition, as you experienced firsthand. Does that make sense? Very good. Now, answer me this. Did you feel anything after passing out? Say, any out-of-body experiences? Or did you see anything while unconscious? Collei, let the others know to stop bringing their patrol logs here for now.
Huh? Why?
Because these two will be staying here for the next few days. They can have my room and I'll bunk with Amir. Now get a move on and be sure to do as I've said.
Yes, Master Tighnari.
Wait, hold on a second. Can you tell us what's going on?
Sure, let me fill you in. I originally planned to send you on your way once you finished your medicine. However, it appears now that you should stay a while longer in Gandharva for further observation while you recuperate.
Further observation?
No need to be hasty. As long as you have the capacity to judge between right and wrong, I promise that you'll understand the gravity of the situation once I explain everything to you. Based on what you saw after smelling the incense and losing consciousness, we can conclude that you experienced a powerful hallucination, which suggests your mental state is not in the best of shape. If you're skeptical, have a whiff of this.
Oh, are you okay?
You're experiencing a similar sensation as when you passed out, aren't you? So even though your condition is stable as of now, if I were to haphazardly let you leave, it's highly likely that you'd suddenly pass out again somewhere else. The rainforest is home to many fierce animals and hazardous areas. If something were to happen to you again, I'm afraid you might not be so lucky. For now, I suggest you continue taking your medicine each day and avoid wandering off on your own. At least until you stop having adverse reactions to this kind of smell, okay? Good. Now continue resting while I fire up another bowl of medicine for you.
Seriously? We just arrived in Sumeru and we're already having problems left and right! Paimon knows we're set on meeting Lesser Lord Kusanali as soon as possible, but you really don't look too good. It'd probably be best to let you recover first. Hey! Are you even listening to Paimon? Paimon's over here worrying about you, you know. What's weird? You mean how you're feeling now? You mean the vision of tree roots and red skies you saw? But if those weren't hallucinations, what could they be? Well, considering how unique you are, Paimon trusts your judgment here. But why didn't you say anything about it to Tighnari? If he misjudged your condition, then there's a chance you could get worse, right? Huh? You mean that Tighnari already knows that what you saw weren't hallucinations? But if that's the case, why would he try to hide that from us? Oh, Paimon gets it now. That explains why you were so quiet earlier. Well, that settles it then. We'll stay here to rest up and figure out what's going on with your hallucinations. But it seems like asking Tighnari might not be an option anymore. What do you think we should do? Good idea. Collei's pretty friendly. We can ask her tomorrow about what she knows regarding the Dendro Archon and customs in Sumeru. Rise and shine! Come on, it's time to go find Collei!
Elazar is a truly troublesome illness.
Our recent catch?
Yesterday, total 5 duskbirds.
All right, next let's see your right hand. Yes, not bad. But please remember that you still need to be careful. Understand?
Yes, I will. By the way, Master, I still haven't received the patrol route for today.
Look, Collei, today's patrol will be a long one, so you won't be coming along this time. Besides, there's a chance we may encounter... well, you understand.
But I have a vision too! Am I useless to everyone now?
Don't talk like that, Collei. This is not something you need to be worrying about right now. Ah, there you are. Feeling any better?
Yeah, since we'll be staying here for now, we thought we might as well try lending a hand around here.
Seems you're not the type to sit back and take it easy for a while, huh? In that case, perhaps Collei could take you two for a patrol south of Gandharva for the day. And if you're feeling up to it, you can be responsible for cleaning the Statue of the Seven.
Tighnari, we're ready to head out.
Roger, I'll be right there. All right, we'll be heading into the forest now. I'll leave any further details to Collei.
Yes, you can count on me.
So, Collei, what exactly are we going to be doing today? Tighnari mentioned cleaning the statue just now, but, that doesn't really sound like the job for a ranger.
Well, a forest ranger's responsibilities can be pretty diverse. They handle a variety of tasks, like checking the condition of outlying roads, maintaining forest facilities, ensuring fire prevention standards are met, and providing assistance to travelers and locals. As for Master, well, he has to handle more dangerous areas of the rainforest. Today we can perform routine checks on the pathway lamps as we make our way to the Statue of the Seven. Paimon, traveler, this way! You can leave the task of checking the lamps to me. In the meantime, you two can keep an eye out for anything unusual.
I think I'll start with these questions.
Brace yourselves.
There are a few interesting trinkets here.
Illusion shattered!
Yahoo!
Shine down! Ha!
Incinerate! Time for your rape!
You can't run!
That felt pretty good.
Illusion shattered!
Incinerate!
Shine down!
Let's play! Time for takeoff.